Live from Vanderbilt Sports and Spirits inside the Wyndham Hamilton Park Hotel, it's Inside the Jets. Brought to you by EY, building a better working world. And by M&T Bank, the official community bank of your New York Jets. Now, here's Erik Allen and Erik Coleman.
Welcome to Inside the Jets. We are broadcasting live from Vanderbilt Sports and Spirits inside the Wyndham Hamilton Park Hotel. Erik Allen alongside Erik Coleman. We'd also like to thank all the service members who are in attendance tonight. It is Salute to Service Week for the New York Jets, so a very special week for the Green and White.
Yeah, it is a special week. You know, we like to honor those who serve for our country, and thank you so much for everything them and their families have sacrificed for our freedom. So, we like to give them a salute.
A loaded schedule because on Tuesday, the Jets are going to host Navy military members for a flag football game at MetLife Stadium. That will always be fun. And the Jets are also going to donate $5,000 to Long Island Carers to feed hundreds of veterans as well.
That's beautiful. You know, the getting together for that football game at MetLife Stadium is going to be exciting.
Some of the players are going to be coaching, I think.
Oh, yeah. You got to have the players in there. It's probably going to get real competitive and feisty.
A lot of trick plays.
It's going to be a good time. Yeah, a lot of trick play, double passes and everything. So,
and then on Wednesday, there will be special salute to service jerseys for the Jets to wear at practice. Players are going to autograph them, and community relations will put those up for auction. So special jerseys throughout the week for the Green and White.
That's going to be cool, man. I love what they're doing. I wish we did this back when I was playing. You know, I'd love to be a part of something like this.
And then festivities will conclude Sunday, of course, at MetLife Stadium as the New York Jets host the Buffalo Bills, their annual Salute to Service game. But let's get to the moment at hand. The Jets now 3-6. With a 13-6 defeat to the Miami Dolphins. This is the first time all year this team is 3 games under 500. What did you think about the game overall?
It was a tough one. You know, it was a tough one to watch, because the defense played so well. You know, I thought they dominated this game. They only gave up 6 points. Offensively, they can never really get anything going. So, that was a little bit frustrating. I'm sure it was for the team as well. But, I thought the Jets played good enough to win this game. But when you lose that turnover battle.
Well, defensively they did.
Yeah, defensively they did. But when you lose a turnover battle, you don't really give yourself a chance to win the game. So you got to take care of the football defensively. They played great, but they didn't turn the ball over. They got to get some turnovers, get the ball to Sam Darnold in some great field position to give him some opportunities to capitalize.
Inside the Jets is supported by Selective Insurance Responses. Everything Erik Allen and Erik Coleman here. We're going to be joined momentarily by Jets defensive lineman Leonard Williams, the Big Cat. You have been in those post-game locker rooms after you put forth a great defensive effort. How frustrated are you at that point, knowing that you put together a winning performance? Your side of the ball took care of business.
Mm-hmm. Well, as a defender, it is very frustrating, because that you played well enough to win this game. But at the same time, you keep it in perspective because there have been plenty of games where the offense probably bailed you out. So it's a team effort. You win as a team, you lose as a team. But when you play that good on defense, you would like to come out with a victory. And, it's got to be frustrating. It's got to be frustrating for the offense as well, not being able to make the plays that they want to, knowing that they probably did a great job of scheming the Dolphins, had a great game plan for the Dolphins. But when it came to playing, the Dolphins out-executed them.
What does it say about the standard this defense has that the guys talked much like you are Sunday in the post-game locker room? I was there in South Florida at Hard Rock Stadium. The fellows were saying we had to come up with takeaways. And I'm thinking to myself, well, you guys did everything but.
Yeah, but that's what you expect out of your defense. When you have such a dominant group on that side of the ball, they want to win the game themselves. They want to give knowing you have a rookie quarterback who's going to take his lumps, make his mistakes. As a defense, you want to come in and over-exceed all your expectations. You not only want to keep them off the board, but you also want to score on defense. You want to, get some turnovers on defense and make some big plays to help win this game.
Okay, so what do you think about Jamal Adams after the game? We went to his locker, and I actually put this on social media, and I think a lot of people saw this, is that he said enough is enough. I'm sick of losing.
I think he just echoed everyone else's attitude.
Yeah.
You know, I think this is a team full of winners. I don't think any of them are used to winning. You know, when you go to NFL teams, most of the roster is built up off of winners, guys who won in high school, guys who won in college. And when they get to the NFL, it's tough to win. You know, and when you go on these losing streaks and you lose these tough games, these games that are just heartbreaking, it gets old. It gets old quick, and hopefully it echoes around the team. They take that perspective to practice. They work harder in preparation and go out there and execute this week playing against the Buffalo Bills.
All right, we're not going to bury the lead here. What's going on with Sam Darnold? Why did he struggle so much against the Dolphins? 4 interceptions, including a back-breaking pick 6 that made it a 2-possession game. And at that stage in the fourth quarter against the Dolphins, it didn't feel like a 10-point deficit. It felt like a 24-point deficit.
Yeah, you know, those are the things that are going to happen with the young quarterback. You know, he's going to make his mistakes in front of the world. And it was a combination of Sam trying to force the ball, trying to make too many plays. It was the Dolphins did a great job of mixing up their defenses, and they just made some great plays. So, you know, there are a couple of things happened on those interceptions, especially on the one with the linebacker when the pick 6. That was just a great athletic play. Yes, Sam probably tried to force that ball in there, but there aren't too many linebackers that can cover a tight end on a corner route, make that catch, fade away.
But he was waiting for that ball.
Yeah, he was. But it was a great play, and that's the thing that we say when you get in the locker room. They get paid too. Sometimes the other team is going to make big plays, and the Dolphins did when they needed it.
Okay, so what has Darnold done when he's had success, and conversely, what happens when he starts scuffling?
Well, you know, I think you see the ball get out of his hands a lot quicker when he's having success. He's more confident in what he's doing. He understands how the defense is attacking them. And, you know, sometimes when they mix things up, Sam gets a little uncomfortable. And that's typical for a young quarterback. You know, you're going to lock onto your receiver. You might stare him down too much because at practice he was open. On film, you visualize yourself making this throw. But every once in a while, they'll throw a wrinkle into the defense, and it doesn't turn out the way. You know, that's what we take pride in on defense is disguising coverage, make it look the same. At the last second, you might rotate. You might play inside leverage, and in the past you played outside leverage. So that makes a world of a difference when you're playing against a young quarterback, and those are things that as a rookie you see on the field. After you make the mistake, you don't get to see those things in the film room, or you don't get to watch anyone else make those mistakes.
Now, I talked to Chad Pennington about this today. We taped a segment, and you can watch it on Jets Flight Plan that airs 11:30 Sunday mornings here in New York locally. You also can check it on NewYorkJets.com. But he said sometimes you have to take the checkdowns when they're available. Sometimes you're going to look down the field at your first and second progression, and you got to come off that using your feet, and then sometimes it's okay to get 5 or 6 yards with the dump to your running back.
Yeah, sometimes that check down or that throwing that ball away out of bounds is the best throw. You know, sometimes that defense will put together a plan where every route is covered. You know, there's no one open down the field, and throwing the ball away, checking it down to a running back is your best option. You know, I think back to that third and 14, when Darnold threw that interception on the dig route. You know, they ran the dagger. Anunwa was on the outside. He ran a 15-yard in route, and he was staring the receiver down. And you can tell in that situation, it was third down and 14 towards the end of the game. The Jets needed to continue the drive, and Sam thought, you know, I need to get this first down. Right. And sometimes the play's just not there. You need to check it down and live to see another play. So I think he'll learn from that, and he'll continue to grow.
Well, I'll tell you what, strong comments from Sam Darnold today as he addressed the New York media, as he typically does following a ball game. He said it's just not playing to the best of my abilities, and quite frankly, just playing stupid. I thought I played stupid football yesterday, and I just got to be better, and I know that. The coaches know that. Everyone knows that.
I respect that from your leader. You know, he's a rookie, and it's easy to deflect and say, you know, we all could have played better, you know, offensively, or we could have all made some plays out there. Instead, Sam decided to take that one on the chin. He pointed the thumb at himself, and that's very mature of him, especially when you're talking about being in New York, because they're going to be very critical in the media. We're going to be very critical of you. And Sam just took it on the chin, didn't say it was anyone else's fault but his own, and he's got to learn from it if this team is going to get better. I definitely respect that.
Yeah, definitely so much to get to in regards to the New York Jets and Sam Darnold, and we'll be back with much more. But you are listening to Inside the Jets. Erik Allen and Erik Coleman here at Vanderbilt Sports and Spirits inside the Wyndham Hamilton Park. We'll be right back.
Ernst & Young LLP is proud to be the exclusive professional business and accounting services sponsor of the New York Jets and MetLife Stadium. Teaming with them as the official sponsor of the EY Coaches Club. As a global leader in assurance, tax, transaction, and advisory services, the global network of EY firms has better connected consultants who help organizations navigate the transformative age by asking better questions to find answers to some of the world's toughest challenges, all to build a better working world for their people, clients, and communities.
We haven't seen a superstar like this in years.
You're not kidding, Bob. The people need to know about this standout.
Introducing this year's most sought-after rookie, the M&T Bank Jets debit card. New on the scene, this fantastic plastic stands 2.125 inches tall and weighs a lean 0.2 ounces. This small but mighty paying machine is sure to be charging through checkout lines all season long.
Hey Jets fans, get your hands on the exclusive Jets debit card with Easy Choice Checking. It's free from a monthly maintenance fee and free from a minimum balance requirement, leaving you free from worry.
You know, I have a feeling we're going to be seeing this powerhouse everywhere soon.
No doubt about it. I want one on my team.
So show your love for the Jets and save on fees today. Rush to any M&T Bank branch or mtb.com/Jets today. M&T Bank, the official community bank of your New York Jets. Other transaction and service fees, including insufficient funds and overdraft fees, may apply to this account. Member FDIC.
Bet online, just like in a casino anywhere in New Jersey with 888. Yes, casino games, live dealer, and more at 888.com. It's fun, fun, fun at 888. So bet now. 888 is a proud sponsor of the Jets Jets. 888 encourages responsible gaming. Players must be 21 or older to play and in the state of New Jersey. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Around my house, I'm called difficult. I know what I want, and I always want more. Take my insurance, for instance. I want more coverages, but there's no chance I'm paying more for it. My agent knows this, and that's why she recommended the Selective Edge. With the Selective Edge, I get higher coverage limits and even coverages I didn't know I need. And my agent knows what discounts I deserve. More coverage, more options, less money. That's not too difficult, is it? Find an agent near you by visiting Selective.com. Selective. Response is everything.
Jet fans, take your Sunday to another level with the premier Jets pregame party at Club Prime Sport. Enjoy food and drinks, games and giveaways, plus live entertainment. Elevate your game day at MetLife Stadium with a Jets experience like no other. Go to primesport.com or call 877-527-2603 today to secure your spot at the official Jets pregame hospitality at Club Prime Sport. With Prime Sport, it's more than a game, it's an experience. Primesport.com.
They couldn't play football without us. We built this stadium. You couldn't tailgate without us. We probably built the road that got you here. Most of all, we promote economic development. That means investments in infrastructure and construction to provide opportunities for developers, union contractors, and members of Operating Engineers Local 825. We're ELEC, the Engineers Labor Employer Cooperative. We build the infrastructure New Jersey and the Jets rely on.
Hey, Jets fans, New Jersey Motor Vehicle Chief Administrator Sue Fulton here to welcome you back for a brand new season of action-packed NFL football and to warn you about the dangers of texting while driving. Sure, fines and penalties are steep, but did you know you're also 23 times more likely to get into an accident if you text and drive? Or that taking your eyes off the road for just 5 seconds at highway speeds is like traveling the length of a football field blindfolded? That's not a winning drive, Jets fans. Learn more at justdrive.com.
Myers lines up from 50 yards away to try to tie the game. The snap, the placement down, the kick is on the way. It's got the distance floating right, and it's no good. 12:37 to go in the fourth quarter, and the Dolphins maintain their lead.
Welcome back to Inside the Jets. Erik Allen and Erik Coleman here at Vanderbilt Sports and Spirits inside the Wyndham Hamilton Park Hotel. Inside the Jets is supported by M&T Bank, the official community bank of your New York Jets. The call there is Bob Wischusen. Just a tough day at the office for the Jets, scoring 2 field goals. You're not going to win many games in the NFL if you come home with 6 points.
No, you're not. And I remember, back to my Jets days when Herm Edwards used to always say, we have to score 24 points. And if you look at the average of the scores, if you score 24 points, then you'll win probably 12 of your games. And of course, every week it's not going to happen, but offensively, you've got to put a couple of touchdowns on the board to give yourself an opportunity.
Leonard Williams will join us in our next segment, and he will be our player guest segment, which is presented by M&T Bank, the official community bank of your New York Jets. All right, let's get back to Darnold. So before the season, he played so well in the spring and the summer that the Jets said, here are the keys. We are going to ride the ups and downs with you. Well, in Miami, you experience the down. Mm-hmm. And I think a gut reaction of a fan, some fans were saying, hey, what are we going to do out here? Should you put Josh McCown in? You have to stick with this guy right now, do you not?
I would say so, because, listen.
And I'm saying that's extreme, but I'm saying a lot of people are like, what's going on? And he's regressing. I don't know if he's necessarily regressing. He's going to have points in the season where you're like, Indianapolis completes 80% of his passes, mm-hmm. or he's throwing touchdowns left and right. Or the last couple of weeks, he's really experienced a couple roadblocks.
Yeah, there are going to be a lot of ebbs and flows, playing quarterback at the rookie position. And when you're a rookie, you're going to go through the ups and downs. And as the Jets, they decided to go with Sam Darnold at the beginning of the year. And like you said, they're going to have to ride those things out. And I think, listen, last Sunday, he took a step back, but before that, he had been getting better every week, and I think that he will continue to get better and grow as a quarterback. And I think it's the right decision to stay with him. Josh McCown is a great player. I think that if you start off with Josh, maybe you win a couple of games and phase into Darnold, but that's not the way that they went about it. They went with Darnold. I thought it was a great decision as well. He played so well in the preseason. He showed that he has the ability to lead this team, and I think everyone has confidence in him. Everyone on the offense and the defense.
They definitely do. And I'm not saying that noise is loud right now. My point is, you heard whispers from fans, just being on social media yesterday. And some people were like, we're not moving the football at all. Do you make a change? And you can't do that with the young quarterback. You decided to go with him. And at this point in time, it's not like he's taking a physical beating. They get sacked 4 times against the Miami Dolphins. But it's not at that stage of his rookie season where you're panicking. You cannot panic as a franchise, and that's what has gotten teams in trouble. That's what has gotten organizations in trouble in the past.
Yeah, I think you have to have that patience. When you look at the organizations that have traditionally had success, I hate to bring them up, but like the Steelers or New England or someone. There's continuity there.
Yep.
The coaches have been there for a long time. The quarterback, everyone has been there for years, and they've developed that success. It's not going to happen overnight. You don't just draft a quarterback, plug them in, and get some wins. You're going to have to work at it. It's going to be a work in progress, and that's the way that the Jets are going right now.
The Jets, on the positive side, on the offensive side of the ball, they got Quincy Enunwa back in the lineup, Robbie Anderson suited up, and Eli McGuire came off injured reserve. Before we get to Enunwa, who's a stud, mm-hmm. I think McGuire can provide a spark for this team down the stretch.
He definitely can, and it was great to see him running the football yesterday. I think that he's, as he gets in game shape, as he gets prepared, we go through this next stretch of the season, he's only going to get better. He was a guy last year that that he can do everything. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. He can protect against the pass. A lot of the things that Bilal Powell does, but he's a lot younger. He's another dimension. So I think it's going to be great with he and Crowell back there. And you're going to be missing Bilal Powell.
Yeah.
But Elijah McGuire can pick up a lot of that.
Yeah,
load.
This is a tremendous opportunity for him, no doubt about it, and great value in the draft from Mike McCagnon getting him in the 6th round a year ago. How would you describe Eli's running style?
He's slippery.
Yeah.
He's definitely explosive. I like how he runs in between the tackles. He has a low center of gravity. It's rare that you see a linebacker get a full shot on him because he twists his hips and he gets lateral. He gets down to has great pad level, and he has great vision, and he's explosive. So, he's a tough guy to tackle in the open field. One of those guys that, as a safety, if you see him in this one-on-one, you're going to be in trouble because he can make you miss when you're in the phone booth.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see what he does over these final 7 games. Why has the offensive line been inconsistent? We see them sometimes just tear people up on the ground. Case in point, the Denver Broncos. Then other games, they don't win the battles in the trenches, like against the Chicago Bears. Against Miami, they struggled inside as well. What's with the inconsistency up front?
Well, a lot of it has to do with there's injuries. Spencer Long has been hurt.
Yep.
Everyone knows that, his snapping finger was injured. And
we'll get to snaps in a second.
You saw a couple of errant snaps last week. But just that continuity, the way the game is going also changes that. If you're playing from behind, the defense knows that they can pin their ears back, get after the quarterback. If you start to play with the lead, start to run the football, you get that momentum, you wear down that offensive line, you wear down the defensive line, and start to make those big plays. It's something that you can't just come out and say, you know what, we're going to dominate this game. It's a work in progress. You wear those defenses out as the game goes.
Do you feel, as for a guy like Spencer Long who's trying to play through a finger ailment where it is impacting his snaps, where you don't know where that ball is going when the Jets are lining up in the shotgun formation?
Yeah, it's tough because, Spencer knows, he's one of the leaders on that offensive line. He's the guy that gets everyone lined up. He sets the blocking schemes, and, he's done a great job of it, up to now. I think that injury is kind of holding him back. But at the same time, when you're hurt, you want to be out there helping your guys. Yeah. You don't want to see your guys out there struggling, out there going through battle with you on the sideline. So I think that he tried to fight it as long as he could, and at the end of the game, it's time to make that switch.
Jets Rewards members, don't forget to enter the code SCOREBOARD in your Jets Rewards portal during the show to earn 100 points. That is Scoreboard. A guy who's going to be able to help the Jets put some points on the scoreboard ahead here is Quincy Enunwa. Mm-hmm. Every time he touches the ball, he makes something happen.
He's a beast. He's a beast, and it was great to see him back out there on the field. He had a couple of Quincy Enunwa type runs, where he caught the short passes, carried about 5 guys down the field, and got up with that intensity. And his attitude is just infectious. You can't help but want to play hard and bust your butt when you see a guy like that on the field, especially when he's hurting. That ankle injury, yes, he's out there performing well, but he's in some pain, and he's fighting through it. And that's the character that this team needs to take on.
How much of an asset can he be in this team's screen game? Because a lot of people are focusing at home about Darnold's development. Well, how can you help him out? I think the Jets have shown to be a very good screen team. Yeah,
the screen is a great way to build the quarterback's confidence. It's a short pass, fairly simple pass. You just have to set everything up, get the blockers out in front, and it can be a 2-yard pass, but it ends up being an 80-yard run. So I think those are the plays, those short plays, similar to a check down. If you can get a check down, make someone miss, go through for a long run, that really helps the quarterback's confidence, and it gets him going. It's tough when you do a lot of check downs and all of a sudden you got to make some deep passes. Yeah. It's like shooting jump shots. It's easier when you start with the layups and then work your way out and start hitting threes. You don't just come out shooting threes at the end of the game. So I think that the screen game is an integral part of this offense, and Quincy being back is going to help out a lot.
From a guy who used to play in the back end, what could you tell as far as what the Dolphins were doing to try to give the rookie different looks?
Well, they were mixing up coverages once the ball was snapped. They would give a 2 shell, and then once the play started, you would see someone creep underneath and rob, the underneath pass.
Well, you got to break this down for everybody home listening who's saying he went 2 shell on me, and then he's saying rob.
All right, so 2 deep shell, that's when you're usually playing cover 2. Both safeties are probably 15 yards deep. They're lined up inside the numbers, and, it's a cover 2 defense. You know that there's 2 deep. You have 9 guys underneath. Everyone else is underneath, 7 underneath in coverage.
And defenses are trying to take away that down-the-field pass.
Yeah, and there's certain plays that beat that cover too. So maybe Jeremy Bates calls a play to beat that cover too. But on the snap, They rotate the safety down. Now it's cover one. It makes things different. Now Sam has to think about the changes while he's dropping back, which when the heat's coming on him, so it makes you think twice about, where is this throw? Because before the snap you saw cover two, I know that this guy's going to be open over here in cover two. But now that the ball is snapped, it's cover one. Now you have to think, and that's when he holds onto the ball, you get sacks. And that's what you like to do as a defensive guy in the secondary, manipulate those young quarterbacks, make them see one thing and let them make the decision while they're dropping back.
And that is the biggest difference between playing on Saturdays and playing on Sundays.
Absolutely.
Is what those defenses try to do to those offenses each and every week here in the National Football League. Off to a good start here on Inside the Jets. We're going to come right back with defensive lineman Leonard Williams.
Ernst & Young LLP is proud to be the exclusive professional business and accounting services sponsor of the New York Jets and MetLife Stadium. Teaming with them as the official sponsor of the EY Coaches Club. As a global leader in assurance, tax, transaction, and advisory services, the global network of EY firms has better connected consultants who help organizations navigate the transformative age by asking better questions to find answers to some of the world's toughest challenges, all to build a better working world for their people, clients, and communities.
Bet online, just like in a casino anywhere in New Jersey with 888. Yes, casino games, live dealer, and more at 888.com. It's fun, fun, fun at 888. So bet now. 888 is a proud sponsor of the JETS Jets. 888 encourages responsible gaming. Players must be 21 or older to play and in the state of New Jersey. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hi, football fans. This is Director Jared Maples with the New Jersey Office of Homeland Security and Preparedness. It's our mission to protect New Jersey with our federal, state, and local partners. Of course, nobody knows our communities better than the people who live there. That's where you can help. If you see something that you suspect is out of the ordinary, report it. Together, we can keep our state safe. Remember, if you see something, say something. To learn more about what to look for, visit njhomelandsecurity.gov.
Advance your career at Centenary University's School of Professional Studies. With accelerated scheduling and competitive pricing, it's convenient for busy adults to earn an MBA, undergraduate degree, or certificate. Centenary graduates work in hot fields like social media marketing, criminal justice, data analytics, health administration, and sports management. At Centenary University, they're committed to your success. Learn more at sps.centenaryuniversity.edu.
Hey, Jets fans, New Jersey Motor Vehicle Chief Administrator Sue Fulton here to welcome you back for a brand new season of action-packed NFL football and to warn you about the dangers of texting while driving. Sure, fines and penalties are steep, but did you know you're also 23 times more likely to get into an accident if you text and drive? Or that taking your eyes off the road for just 5 seconds at highway speeds is like traveling the length of a football field blindfolded? That's not a winning drive, Jets fans. Learn more at justdrive.com.
As a young boy, Gavin loved playing football. He lived and breathed it, wanted to go pro. Why, he'd spend hours upon hours just practicing his touchdown dances. And one day, while getting fitted for bifocals, he realized he was never much good at throwing, or running, or catching, or even kicking. Yeah, Gavin's chances of playing pro football were looking like 4th and long. Very long. But he did hear how Geico could save him money on car insurance, so he switched and saved. Then he did kind of a touchdown dance. At least he was still good at that.
We haven't seen a superstar like this in years.
You're not kidding, Bob. The people need to know about this standout.
Introducing this year's most sought-after rookie, the M&T Bank Jets debit card. New on the scene, this fantastic plastic stands 2.125 inches tall and weighs a lean 0.2 ounces. This small but mighty paying machine is sure to be charging through checkout lines all season long.
Hey, Jets fans, get your hands on the exclusive Jets debit card with Easy Choice Checking. It's free from a monthly maintenance fee and free from a minimum balance requirement, leaving you free from worry.
You know, I have a feeling we're going to be seeing this powerhouse everywhere soon.
No doubt about it. I want one on my team.
So show your love for the Jets and save on fees today. Rush to any M&T Bank branch or mtb.com/Jets today. M&T Bank, the official community bank of your New York Jets. Other transaction and service fees, including insufficient funds and overdraft fees, may apply to this account. Member FDIC.
2:25 to go. Darnold in the shotgun on 4th and 15. Takes the snap, drops back, looks over the middle, steps up, fires one into traffic, and it's intercepted. Picking it off is T.J. McDonald, and he will simply lay down, give himself up at the 50-yard line with 2:15 remaining. Third interception of the day for Sam Darnold.
Welcome to Inside the Jets. Welcome back to Inside the Jets. We're broadcasting live from Vanderbilt Sports and Spirits inside the Wyndham Hamilton Park Hotel. Erik Allen alongside Erik Coleman. We are also closed here tonight at Vanderbilt's because a number of military families are here with us. So we thank you so much, not only for your service, but for coming out tonight. Well deserved for the sacrifices you and your families continue to make each and every day. We are lucky. That goes without saying. But our player guest segment is presented by M&T Bank, the official community bank of your New York Jets. So without further ado, let's bring in the big cat, Leonard Williams. Leonard, we were talking about it. E and I were talking about it. And me and you talked about it yesterday in South Florida. How tough was that for you guys as a defense, knowing that predominantly you did your job for 60 minutes, but you still weren't able to come away with a victory?
I mean, it was a big moment for the defense. We obviously stepped up. We challenged each other all week, and we responded to that challenge. And it showed in the game that everybody prepared great during the week, and we came out and executed on Sunday. And at the same time, we were obviously disappointed with the loss, but at the same time, we're not the type of team who's going to point fingers and point other fingers on other guys on the team and stuff like that. So, even though we did good, like, there were still guys like, man, we left this play out there. Like, we could have scored on this play. And, like, we're just like, even though we had a great game on defense, we were still looking at what we could have done better.
That's what I just was going to ask you, because Mondays around the National Football League, you guys come in and usually have a walkthrough and go through your mistakes. Mm-hmm. I didn't see too many mistakes on the field Sunday.
Yeah, see, that was what was huge about our the way we played this Sunday is that a lot of times we'll play great, but then sometimes a guy will have a mental error here and it just creates a big gap, and then sometimes a guy will just misread this and it will create a big play. And I think that's what we executed well as a defense, is that everybody just knew their assignment. We had a super simple game plan going into the game, and we executed at a high level and we were able to play super fast.
Now, I know there's times as a defense when the offense may pick up for you. The defense yesterday picked up for the offense.
Yeah.
Is it hard to keep the guys together when you have such a dominant performance defensively and still come up short?
Yeah, it's hard. You start to see guys, not all the time. Like I was saying about our team, we're the type that, even if we lost the game and we played great, we're still going to see, like, plays that we could have made. But at the same time, it's hard to, tell guys, like, man, even though we played great, we lost. And, a lot of guys didn't feel like we lost because it felt like we dominated the other team across the line from us. And then we still came away when we looked at the scoreboard with the loss. And, it was kind of hard. You got to bring the guys together and be like, we can't let this diminish, our team and diminish our play. And we got to keep coming and, grow from this and, continue to play this way as a defense, and then knowing that our offense is going to come along with it. You know what I mean?
Leo, you went to USC. Do you have any words of advice for your young quarterback, Sam Darnold, after he experienced a bump in the road like he did Sunday against the Dolphins with the 4 interceptions?
Yeah, I mean, as if I'm talking to Sam, I would just say, keep your head strong, keep fighting. That's what we do at SC is fight on. He knows that. And, he's the type of guy who he loves to get better. Even when he's at the top, he's trying to see what he can grow from and how he can keep growing. And I'm sure he's going to take a lot away from this game and continue to grow as a great player and, just stay at it.
Do you feel as a defense, as a leader of the defense, that having a rookie quarterback who hasn't seen it all, that you guys have to pretty much overdo what you would normally have to do, go above and beyond, force some turnovers, put points on the board? Do you feel like that as a defense?
I feel like we're always going to feel like that as a defense. No matter how many game-changing players we have on offense, we could have the best offense in the world, and our defense is still going to feel like, let's put the weight on our back. So, that's what I love about our defense. We're going to come out and attack and feel like we're the best thing on the field at all times. And I love playing for this team. And, like you said, sometimes the offense is going to pick up the slack for the defense. Sometimes the defense is going to pick up the slack for the offense. And, that's kind of what happened in this past game. Defense was trying to pick it up and just keep him rolling. And, sometimes we'll make a huge play on defense that will get the offense going. It'll create some hype for them, and they'll charge on the field. So, it all works together. That's why it's a team,
Do you take pride in your durability and availability? I think that's yesterday against the Dolphins was your 57th consecutive start.
I didn't even know that, but I do take pride in that, actually. And, a guy that inspired me when I first was a rookie was DeBrickashaw. And, he has some similar stats, were actually a lot bigger stats, is that, like, he went a few consecutive years without
and he missed one snap in his entire career, and they took him out. They took him out for special teams or a trick play. I think that was. Yeah, it was a trick play.
Yeah. So whenever I heard that, I was like, man, that's impressive. And I want to be that type of guy who can be available and ready to go every game. I don't want to miss a game. And even last year, I played through some injury and stuff like that, just because I want to be available for my teammates.
What kind of stuff do you do to take care of your body? I mean, do you do yoga? Massage therapy. What do you do to keep your body safe?
Yeah, I was actually introduced to yoga a few years ago, and that's something I've been trying to keep up with as much as possible. It just keeps my body limber and flexible and stuff like that. And before the game, I have a whole routine, acupuncture. I mean, not acupuncture, but the crack the back stuff.
Chiropractor.
There's a lot of stuff, man. Sorry. But yeah, I see the chiropractor and I get stretched and all that type of stuff. And then on our off days tomorrow, that's when I see like acupuncturists and I get a massage and I get like hot tub, ice tub, and all that stuff.
Those are opposing offensive linemen are not going to be happy that Leonard Williams is doing yoga because that elongates your muscles, and you are one of the longest limbed guys in the National Football League up there.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely, try to use my length as much as possible. Having long arms, especially as a D lineman, is very helpful. Get separation with the big guy. Being able to lock my arms out with a huge guy is pretty helpful in my game.
All right, so you are a very good football player, and again, each and every week, this Jets team and this defense can count on you. You are one of the core pieces here. Before we get back to the Jets, I want to talk about Leonard the person. Before the game Sunday at Hard Rock Stadium, you had an emotional moment with one of your biggest fans. Who was that? And can you tell us a little bit about your dad and where he's been and what that moment was like for you yesterday?
Yeah, that was a really big moment. I haven't seen my dad since I was 14, and that's when I first started playing football, actually, was when I got to high school at 14. So he got to see me play for JV, high school football, and then after that went to prison, and I haven't seen him since then. And it's been 10 years now, and I'm 24. I'm a full-grown man now, so it's like funny for him to see me because he's still treating me like a little kid, and I'm like, hey, I'm a man now, Dad. Like, you know what I mean? But it was pretty cool, man. He seemed like he was pretty emotional, and he seems like he's in a good place, and happy to be back out there and watching me play. He had my Pro Bowl jersey on and all that stuff, and I got him some field passes for him to come on the field and get the full experience, and it was a pretty big moment.
You had a chance to spend some time with him Saturday too, didn't you?
Yeah, we got in around like 5:30 on Saturday, and we had meetings around 8, so I had some time to go to dinner with with my dad and his sister and some of my siblings.
Man, that was emotional. Even when you talk about it now, kind of gets you choked up. That's a beautiful thing. But, going through those circumstances of growing up without your father, being in prison, it's a two-part question. How did you stay on the straight and narrow, do the right thing, make the right decisions? And also, I know you do a lot in the community. What do you tell kids going through your situation that you went through?
I would start with the first part of the question is how did I stay on track is, just from my mom. She was a strong woman. She was a nurse and worked, like 9 to 5, like all day, every day. And, I was the middle out of 5 children. So like to see her be able to take care of 5 women on her own, 5 children on her own, I was like, man, like if she can do all this, I can get up in the morning and go to workouts and go to school and stuff like that. So she was a big motivation for me. And then, as all players would probably say, a lot of mentors that have been in and out of my life. I had a great high school head coach who I got huge senioritis my senior year and like stopped coming to school and stuff after the season was over. And he like really just got on me one time and like started picking me up every morning and taking me, like making sure he went out his way to make sure that I was at school. So it's like guys like that have always been in my life at the right time, at the right moments, that have guided me and helped me get to where I wanted to be.
But
it's never by myself, you know.
You moved around a bunch. You were in Sacramento, Michigan, Arizona, all before you were even 10 years old. I know the family ultimately settled in Daytona Beach, but you went to homeless shelters at times.
Yeah.
You had to stay in motels.
Yeah.
I mean, did you ever say to yourself, man, what's going on? Or you didn't know, you just thought, hey, this is the normal for me right now?
I definitely didn't know. I definitely knew that it wasn't normal, but at the same time, I was so young and like naive and stuff that I didn't really have a chance to comprehend what was going on. You know what I mean? Like I think it definitely helped me grow to like who I am today. Like I'm super adaptable just because I've been able to move around so much and like meet new friends and meet new people and be in a whole new environment and circumstances and adapt. You know what I mean? So that's why it was easy for me to move from Florida when I was 17 and go all the way to Cali and like not be homesick, because I'm like, you know, I'm used to this. And the same when I came from Cali all the way to New York, you know, it was kind of easy adjustment for me just because I've been able to adapt. And I don't know. There's definitely been tough times growing up that I'm proud of, you know, where I've gotten today, because I've been through a lot. And it's cool to see, because a majority of the NFL players have come from like, you know, hard background. So it's cool to see like everybody's story. You know?
Do you impart your wisdom? Do you impart your wisdom on the young folks who you might see going down a wrong path? Do you tell them who you are more than just, hey, I'm 92 lining up on Sundays?
Yeah, for sure. You know, I trained in San Francisco for a whole off season one time with you know, like some MMA trainer, and this MMA trainer I knew was like huge into like the youth in that community and stuff like that. He took me and a few other football players and guys he knew to like a juvenile center.
Yeah, juvenile detention center.
Yeah, we were like talking to all the kids about you know, how it's not over for you guys. Like we know you guys are coming like through like tough backgrounds and like stuff like that, hard upbringings. But he was like using us as examples that, you know, there's ways out of it, and you know, like your life isn't gonna end here, and you know, there's ways to get out of where you started. And that's what's good about America is, you know, you can have a dream and you can pursue it. So it's awesome.
Yeah, I think it's awesome that you take time out of your busy schedule, go back and impart your wisdom to the youth. Because, you know, I know just like, you know, going through tough times growing up, it would have been great to have an NFL player come and tell you, you know what, if you stay on the right path, do your job, things will be okay and things will work out for you. So please keep up that good work.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really important for players or even successful people in general to give back, just because, like I said, you know, I had my mom as a big role model, but I also had a bunch of leaders and, you know, coaches and mentors that have helped me get to where I am. So, you know, we may not think it's that huge when we just say something small to a kid, or like do a little football camp, or, you know, go to a juvenile center and like be there for like 3 hours and that's it. But it's huge to these kids. Like, they remember it. And, you know, it helps them sometimes if they're going through a hard time. They remember, like, oh, this guy was successful and he went through the same thing I went through, so why can't I? You know what I mean?
You did not have to look far for somebody to look up to, because you told us before coming on the air tonight, Leo, that your mother couldn't even come to the game in Miami yesterday because she was working her job as a nurse.
Yeah.
That just shows what kind of work ethic she has.
Yeah, my whole family's been like that. Even though my dad went to prison, he was an engineer growing up, and he was a hardworking guy, was always out of the house before the sun even got up and stuff like that. So, you know, I've definitely seen a lot of hard work from my parents. And, you know, once I started playing football, I got addicted to the grind almost. Like, it was kind of addicting, like, working out that much. You know what I mean? It was just like something to get away from everything that was going on in the house and stuff like that, and it was easy for me to focus on something good when there's a lot of bad happening at home. You know what I mean?
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, youngsters growing up and looking at their situations, and saying, you know, I got troubles. They can look up to somebody like you who is in his 4th year in the National Football League, but not just the way you play on the field, but the way your approach is with people and your work ethic. A great story, no doubt about that. Leo, but speaking of great stories, we only got about 45 seconds or so. But how do you get to USC? We were just talking about it because you're a Florida guy. I got to imagine you were thinking the Gators. I went to graduate school at Florida, but you got away to USC, and a famous coach had a hand in that.
Yeah, it was really surprising for me as well. Even one of my best friends who ended up going to USC right after me, we were like the 2 big-time recruits coming out of my high school at the time, and we were like completely sold on Florida Gators. Like we both had like Florida Gator back flaps like out in high school, and like I wore like Gator Chucks, Chuck Taylors, and like clothes all the time in school. So like when other recruiters would come to school, they'll see me wearing like Florida gear, and they're like, "Oh yeah, this guy's going to Florida for sure," you know. But I ended up going to like a bunch of camps my junior year, and I went to USC as one of my camps. It was like a 3-day camp, and Coach Ogeron was the D-line coach there.
Who is now the coach at LSU, of course.
Who's doing great at LSU, actually. And he just struck me, man. I was just like, man, I never met a guy like this in my life. Like, I never had a coach like this in my life. Like, he was just super, like, hard-nosed, like, grind. And he seemed like he never tried to, like, BS me. Like, you know, sometimes I went to a lot of places and they all were like trying to like blow smoke and like be like, oh, like it's beautiful here, like you'll love it and stuff like that. And like, whereas like Coach O was like, man, if you come here, you're gonna work hard, you're gonna play hard, like stuff like that. You know, he just kept it straight with me, and I could tell he was real and genuine. And you know, he still is that same type of guy. We still keep in touch, and Coach Ogeron is definitely the guy who got me to come all the way out to USC.
Well, real, genuine, and a guy who keeps on doing his thing. That is Leonard Williams. Great spot here on Inside the Jets. Erik, Coleman, and I will be back for our final segment.
Like this in years.
You're not kidding, Bob. The people need to know about this standout.
Introducing this year's most sought-after rookie, the M&T Bank Jets debit card. New on the scene, this fantastic plastic stands 2.125 inches tall and weighs a lean 0.2 ounces. This small but mighty paying machine is sure to be charging through checkout lines all season long.
Hey Jets fans, get your hands on the exclusive Jets debit card with Easy Choice Checking. It's free from a monthly maintenance fee and free from a minimum balance requirement, leaving you free from worry.
You know, I have a feeling we're going to be seeing this powerhouse everywhere soon.
No doubt about it. I want one on my team.
So show your love for the Jets and save on fees today. Rush to any M&T Bank branch or mtb.com/Jets today. M&T Bank, the official community bank of your New York Jets. Other transaction and service fees, including insufficient funds and overdraft fees, may apply to this account. Member FDIC.
As a young boy, Gavin loved playing football. He lived and breathed it, wanted to go pro. Why, he'd spend hours upon hours just practicing his touchdown dances. And one day, while getting fitted for bifocals, he realized he was never much good at throwing, or running, or catching, or even kicking. Yeah, Gavin's chances of playing pro football were looking like 4th and long. Very long. But he did hear how Geico could save him money on car insurance, so he switched and saved. Then he did kind of a touchdown dance. At least he was still good at that.
Hi, football fans. This is Director Jared Maples with the New Jersey Office of Homeland Security and Preparedness. It's our mission to protect New Jersey with our federal, state, and local partners. Of course, nobody knows our communities better than the people who live there. That's where you can help. If you see something that you suspect is out of the ordinary, report it. Together, we can keep our state safe. Remember, if you see something, say something. To learn more about what to look for, visit njhomelandsecurity.gov.
Every time you close your laptop, a Corona gets its lime. And every time your to-do list is to do one less thing, a Corona gets its lime. Every time you press pause. Every time you unwind or lose track of time, a Corona gets its lime. And every time your feet are up while the sun goes down, a Corona gets its lime. So drop a lime in and find your beach. Please drink responsibly. Corona Extra Beer imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
Jet fans, take your Sunday to another level with the premier Jets pregame party at Club Prime Sport. Enjoy food and drinks, games and giveaways, plus live entertainment. Elevate your game day at MetLife Stadium with a Jets experience like no other. Go to primesport.com or call 877-527-2603 today to secure your spot at the official Jets pregame hospitality at Club Prime Sport. With Prime Sport, it's more than a game, it's an experience. Primesport.com.
They couldn't play football without us. We built this stadium. You couldn't tailgate without us. We probably built the road that got you here. Most of all, we promote economic development. That means investments in infrastructure and construction to provide opportunities for developers, union contractors, and members of Operating Engineers Local 825. We're ELEC, the Engineers Labor Employer Cooperative. We build the infrastructure New Jersey and the Jets rely on.
Advance your career at Centenary University's School of Professional Studies. With accelerated scheduling and competitive pricing, it's convenient for busy adults to earn an MBA, undergraduate degree, or certificate. Centenary graduates work in hot fields like social media marketing, criminal justice, data analytics, health administration, and sports management. At Centenary University, they're committed to your success. Learn more at sps.centenaryuniversity.edu.
Shotgun for Darnold. 3 receivers left. Crowell to his right. Takes the snap. High snap. Pulls it down with one hand. Looks right. Throws right. Sideline. Intercepted. Underthrew his intended target. Down the left sideline. Walking into the end zone. It's a touchdown for Jerome Baker, the rookie linebacker.
Welcome back to Inside the Jets. Erik Allen and Erik Coleman here at Vanderbilt Sports and Spirits inside the Wyndham Hamilton Park Hotel. Remember, Jets fans, you can stream Inside the Jets live through the Jets app presented by M&T Bank. Go to the App Store or Google Play now and search official New York Jets. Great spot with Leonard Williams. Very Amazing. Interesting cat, the big cat.
Yeah,
no pun intended. Very productive player for this team. He plays a tough position. I know everybody's always talking about sacks with Leonard. He brings a lot to the table, man.
Yeah, I mean, you could feel his leadership, and his passion for the game, and it's infectious, and it's rubbed off on a lot of players on this team, and they're going to need leaders like Leonard to continue to grow and to continue to have the success. We talked about Jamal Adams going off after the game, not accepting losing. That's the kind of attitude you need in an organization if you want to continue to grow and have success.
Yeah, and I think when this team ultimately does turn the corner, he's going to be a big reason why. And Leonard is more than just sacks, because I know people are always going to look at his sack totals. But just talk about the challenges of being a 3-4 interior lineman and the attention you get there in your responsibilities.
Yeah, it's tough. You don't get the notoriety that the 4-3 defensive linemen get.
Yeah, because you're not an edge rusher.
Yeah, as a 3-4,
you're never coming free.
Yeah, as a 3-4 defensive end, you're lined up inside the tackle, inside the tight end most of the time. As soon as the ball's snapped, you have 4 hands on you. You're getting double teamed. You have to hold your gap. It's hard to get penetration. So, for Leonard to have success, to get sacks, to make those tackles for loss, he has to defeat 2 guys, 2 300-pounders right now. And that's why he's talking about using his long arms to his advantage. He gets his arms on the guys, moves one player. It has the strength to get through, and, it's just awesome to watch.
I was encouraged by the Jets' pass rush against the Dolphins. They got to Osweiler 4 times, and when there was blood in the water, they got after it because Jawan James, the starting right tackle for the Dolphins, went out, and then Jordan Jenkins started eating.
Yeah, he did, and that's what you have to do. You have to spot the weakness of the opponent, and I think this defensive line has taken it upon themselves to get pressure up at the quarterback, get tackles for loss, play in the opposing team's backfield. And I think they've done a great job all year, and that really sets the tone for your defense and makes life a lot easier for those linebackers.
What do you think about this ball game coming up? The Buffalo Bills, 2-7. They're an offense. People think the Jets are struggling offensively. The Bills are at another level right now, but they play good defensive football, and you could be involved in a dogfight here on Sunday.
Yeah, playing against Buffalo, no matter what the year is, that team is always physical. They're always strong. They're always sound on defense, play well on special teams, and that does make for a dogfight. The Jets have to be prepared to come in here and fight at the beginning of the game at least. Then you might make some big plays and start to separate later in the game. But for the first 3 quarters, it's going to be a fight. And they've done that the whole year. They've been in pretty much every game with not last week, but every other game they've pretty much been in.
I think the Bears didn't even have 200 yards of total offense against the Bills, but they continually turn the football over. Nathan Peterman has been an interception machine throughout his NFL career. We have no idea who's going to be quarterback for the Bills. It could be Peterman. It could be Derek Anderson. or it could be Josh Allen. I anticipate Allen not playing. He's dealing with an arm issue, and the Bills have a bye next week. I don't think you want to rush a rookie quarterback right back in the lineup.
No, you definitely don't want to do that. And if you're the Jets defense, you have to smell that blood in the water. But at the beginning of the game, you just have to start off doing your job. Do your job. Don't try to force mistakes, because quarterbacks, when you start getting after the quarterback, when Leonard starts hitting them, they're going to make mistakes. They're going to start getting nervous in the pocket. That's when you start throwing the balls up and you start taking advantage of those plays and getting those turnovers.
Yeah, the Jets' defense has an opportunity to dominate this ball game because the Bills aren't getting any push up front. Their O-line is mediocre at best. Their wide receivers with Kelvin Benjamin, Zay Jones, and company, they have struggled throughout the 2018 season. But like I said, the Bills pose some problems defensively, so we'll have to see what happens. This hour goes by so quickly. We want to thank Michelle back in the studio, Justin, of course, on hand every week here, and Frank the Tank, Bree, Olivia was in attendance, and, of course, all the service members. We'll see you next week.
Ernst & Young LLP is proud to be the exclusive professional business and accounting services sponsor of the New York Jets and MetLife Stadium. Teaming with them as the official sponsor of the EY Coaches Club. As a global leader in assurance, tax, transaction, and advisory services, the global network of EY firms has better connected consultants who help organizations navigate the transformative age by asking better questions to find answers to some of the world's toughest challenges, all to build a better work